everybody and welcome to Read by Ross, the show where I give you some book reviews on books that I have read that I hope that you will enjoy and some that I will enjoy as well. So if you're new to this is new for me as well, I'm going to be reviewing books and I'm an avid reader. I want to be a writer myself, I want to write books myself as well in the future. So I've always taken some time off that I have to just review the books that I've read, that I've enjoyed, that I love, that I think are great. So what better place for me to start than by reviewing my second favourite book ever written. We'll get to the first further on down the line in another video. But in the meantime, I'm going to start off with something easy and something I can talk about right off the cuff. And that is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Now, already quite a popular and controversial pick for a lot of people, but this book, in my opinion, is outstanding. It is just dripping with so much detail and quality and great character dialogue and descriptions of things. This book is outstanding, and to anybody who's ever read this book before, they know what I'm talking about. So for those of you who have never read Bret Easton Ellis' American Psycho, here's the plot summary. The book follows our main villain and main character, Patrick Bateman, as he's 26 years old and works on Wall Street in New York City in the 1980s. And ultimately, he is so vacant and empty in his entire life, despite the fact that he's got a well-selling job, a wonderful apartment, and a fiancée, he's not quite happy. The only thing he could take his pleasure out on and get any satisfaction from is murdering people in the most visceral and disgusting and horrific ways. And it is described to you the same way he would describe the music that he's listening to, the clothes that he's wearing, and the restaurants that he's visiting with his friends. Ultimately, what this book is amazing at accomplishing is the great sense of disassociation between the main character and everybody else in the rest of the book. To Patrick Bateman, he thinks he's completely fine, normal, and everything's okay. But to everybody else, he sees them as problems. He sees them with their flaws and their inconsistencies, and he just has to pick up on them. And he is so detailed with everything that he looks at that he can't go without his day without mentioning what was on TV, what Les Mis poster is on, what tie he's wearing, and it's such a good insight into that. The biggest strength in this book, as I mentioned already, is the dialogue. Bret Easton Ellis just knew how to write these characters and how to write these people. And it comes across in the most heartbreaking way. Like in the beginning of the book, it starts with these two yuppies, Patrick Bateman and Paul Owen, walking down the street, and they're just commenting on homeless people as if it's their problem that they're out there, not knowing that there's this whole world around them that is completely fucking itself over. As well as this, you know, there's chapters which are dedicated to Genesis, Huey Lewis and the News, and Whitney Houston. There's chapters dedicated to how he's going to murder children, dogs, women, and ultimately, like, I mean, for a lot of people, when they read this book, it is going to be a bit heavy for them, but you have to get this, you have to be heavy in order to get that level of disassociation, that level of vulgarness, that level of what the problem of that he's living in at the time, that he is a product of the time that he's living in. Everybody is so self-absorbed and self-obsessed with themselves that they don't even know what realism is anymore. And because of this, that's how we get Patrick Bateman being a psychopath and murdering all these innocent people. And of course there was a film adaptation as well, starring Christian Bale, which I like. I prefer the book more because the book actually handles a lot more issues better than the film does. Plus the book ending is better explained than the film ending. And that's something I might come back to at a later time to explain that. I might just do that as a private video to say, if you don't understand the end of American Psycho, just click this end book here and I'll explain the ending to you entirely. But in the meantime, just read the book and it's great. This book is so influential to me that not only is it my second favourite book, that back on my YouTube channel, the Ross Hepburn channel, me and Douglas Fender actually made a sketch parodying the Patrick Bateman killing Paul Owen scene where he talks about Huey Lewis and News, but we talk about giving blood. And the reason I did this is because I wanted to write dialogue like Bret Easton Ellis. And when you read this book, and when you read his dialogue, and when you read how naturalistic and vulgar his characters are, you believe every word they say because they're so well written and so well given dialogue that by the end of it, you're just kind of like, these people aren't even satirists. They're just real people. They're not even figments of imagination. And at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with a book that really taps on the levels of, you know, what it means to be part of something and, you know, in a grander scheme of things and where you go and lost in your psyche. And it's great and I love it. And again, it's a book that I've read more than multiple times, mainly for the dialogue, mainly for the descriptions, and mainly because I get a shopping list of suits out of this book as well, so there's that. So yeah, if you've not read American Psycho, go out, pick yourself up a copy, read it, and just be blown away by how, you know, how in a book that's so glamorized and has everything perfect out for all these people, that there is still an ugly side to all of this, and there might be a burgeoning Patrick Bateman inside all of us. And it's great, and I love it. You should read it too. Brilliant book. Check it out. Okay, so that just about wraps it up for my book review. Join me next time where I'll review another book, probably Master and Margarita when I finish that. Or hey, maybe another book, I don't know yet. I've got thousands of books I can review. But in the meantime, this was just my first video to say, you know, this is me doing book reviews now. Hope you enjoyed my American Psycho review, and I hope you pick it up at some point soon. So yeah, check it out. Bret Easton Ellis and American Psycho. Brilliant book. This has been Ross Hepburn. Take care, folks.